Hi folks, Greeno here. Where am I today? Well, I'm in a fairly wet and windy Islington, North London. Why am I here? That is a good question. Why am I standing in the rain is an even better question. Behind me here is a place called Indian Veg. Now, this is possibly the cheapest all-you-can-eat buffet in all of London. I've done my research and I can't find anything cheaper anywhere. In here, you can get your fill of various Indian dishes and Bangladeshi dishes for just £9.95. £9.95, all you can eat in London. I mean, I think that's exceptional. That's exceptional anywhere, pretty much, isn't it? So, what's the catch? What is the catch? Well, it's a vegetarian restaurant, so I suppose they're saving money by not using meat in the dishes. But of course, a lot of really good Indian, Bangladeshi, Pakistani, all that sort of region, a lot of their good dishes are vegetarian dishes. A lot of people in those countries are vegetarian. So, yeah, I'm looking forward to trying this, seeing what we can get. Come on, let's get inside and dry off a bit, shall we? Right then folks, I have come in and sat down. The walls are all decorated with information about the benefits of various things, about the vegetarian diet, what certain things can do for you, what certain things are bad for you, what things are good for certain organs in your body. So it's kind of like an education looking in here. Some people will view it as kind of vegetarian propaganda, I'm sure, but it's kind of interesting. I think there's a whole thing about a load of different juices on the wall there and the different benefits of certain things you can put in juices to cure certain conditions. Yeah, it's really kind of interesting. We're here about the food, aren't we? So, this place is in its 40th year. 40 years of this place serving vegetarian food to the local community. And they try and do it as cheaply as they possibly can. Now, the price has varied a little over the years, and apparently at one point last year it was as high as £14.95 for this buffet. But because of they want to try and help the community in a kind of difficult time financially, they've managed to reduce that down to £9.95 again, which I think is really, really good. So, I think the best thing for us to do is to get some food. On the placemats here is a little message saying lentil soup is a nutritional powerhouse. That's a really good thing to start an Indian meal with. Lots of different things in there, like ginger and turmeric, I expect, which are really good for you. So I'm going to try a bit of that first, and then we'll get stuck into the main buffet. Really looking forward to this. Right then, folks, I have the lentil soup as my little starter course. I've got myself a Coke Zero to go alongside things. I know people will say that there are things in there which are not good for you, but it's better for you than normal Coke, I suppose, isn't it? And I like it. That's the main thing. Right, so this lentil soup, like I said, it's got a nice consistency to it. I like it. Not too thin, not too thick. And it's got a really nice aroma.
It's a very old recipe.
Yeah, really good.
And it's like a lentil.
It's been cooked so that the lentils have really kind of softened down, but you can still pick up the little texture of the individual lentils in there. There's a nice whack of chilli spice in there too.
And then it's got a...
You can pick up little bits of onion in there. There's lots and lots of different herbs and spices going on. Kind of hard to pick out what's what, but I can definitely get some ginger in there too. That's very tasty, and it feels healthy, you know. There's little seeds in there, which I think are like mustard seeds or something like that. And it's just a nice, warming, filling kind of little starter to prepare you for the main course to come. That is really good. I've got to be honest. That's worth the money on its own. I've got to say that soup was absolutely delicious. Time to hit the main course though, and don't forget, this is all you can eat, so you can go back as many times as you like. I think I'm going to behave myself. I'll probably just get one plate, see how we go. But yeah, if it's anything as good as the soup, I'm in for a treat. Okay, then folks, well, I've been up and filled up my plate with all sorts of veggie goodness. I don't really know what any of it is. We'll kind of find out as we go along. And I've got a little salad bowl here too, which has got some sort of beetroot salad in there, and a little bit of grated carrot salad that's got some chickpeas and kidney beans in, and a little bit of yoghurt and mint dressing in there. So I think I'll probably start with that. So we'll get a little bit of that carrot mixed in with that yoghurt and mint dressing. Just grated carrot by itself is a touch on the bland side, isn't it? So we'll get some of that dressing onto it. A couple of the beans and whatever in there. Lovely and fresh. That yoghurt sauce is great. Nice whack of mint in there. And try the beetroot salad as it is without the dressing. And again, very, very tasty, very fresh tasting. Beetroot is one of my favourite vegetables. It really is. I love it roasted, I love it pickled, I love it in soups. Oh yeah, that's really tasty. And again, exceptionally healthy. So, that's a nice little accompaniment. Here on the plate, I've got this little puri kind of thing here. We'll move it out the way for now so we can have a little bit more of a look at what I've got on here. So, again, seeing as I'm somewhere health conscious, we've gone for some brown rice, and it looks really nice and fluffy. Brown rice I often find is a bit sort of stodgy and unappealing, but that looks pretty good. I've got some kind of saag-based spinachy curry here. Just potatoes and vegetables with some peas and whatever in there. Something that kind of looks like a dal with, again, some bits of veggies in. Something that kind of looks a little sort of creamier, almost sort of korma-like, with some what looks like sweet potato and bits and bobs in there. And in the middle here we have some little strings of like onion bhaji kind of thing. Let's give them a little try, shall we? Go with our fingers for that. Very crispy. Very, very light spicing in the batter. And fresh onion inside. I mean, what's not to like? I quite like onion bhaji done like this. When you get a whole onion bhaji, particularly a round one rather than a flat one, the inside can be a little bit stodgy because the flour doesn't really get time to cook out by the time the outside of the bhaji is done. But doing it this way, obviously using a faster cooking process, it all cooks through lovely. Really, really good. One other thing I forgot to mention, coming in here, this is a place you can bring your own bottles in. So I don't think they have an alcohol licence here, but they don't charge you any corkage or whatever if you want to bring some drinking yourself. So you could come in as a couple, bring a bottle of wine with you, sit down, eat a lovely meal here, and spend less than 20 quid between you. That's pretty incredible, isn't it, this day and age? Right, so we're going to start with these curries now. We've got this potato and vegetable one here. There's bits of peas in it, bits of carrot by the looks of it. And that's just what I'd call a regular curry. A little bit of tomato base in there. The flavour of the veg is really nice, actually. Potato is cooked through properly. The carrots, nice and soft, but with a tiny little bit of bite. That's good. Next up, we'll go on to this dal type one. Now, this is a little thicker. You can see the lentils have thickened it up. I can see mustard seed in there. So it's going to have a similar flavour profile to the soup, I would guess, but let's give it a try. That's really good. When the lentils cook down like that, they almost become creamy, don't they? Thickens up the sauce. Here, you've got a bit more of chilli heat, spice, however you want to call it. That really, really does kind of open up the sinuses a little bit. That is really good. Really good. Move on to the... Well, it kind of looks a little creamier. A little more like a korma. And it is. It's got coconut milk in there with the veggies. Then just another little flavour profile. Many of the same ingredients, of course. A lot of stuff here is quite heavy with the potatoes, peas, carrot, onion, relatively inexpensive vegetables, but to keep it to this low price, what do you expect? That is very, very tasty though. It's a little spicier than you'd expect from a korma kind of curry, but it does kind of have that similar flavour profile. I missed out the spinach one. Now, spinach is something I would often order as a side dish if I'm having a regular curry from one of my favourite curry houses back down in Dorset. I like the sagaloo. That's probably one of my favourites. Let's give this a try. Again, really nicely cooked. The spinach is lovely and soft. The potato and the onions in there, still with a touch of bite. I'd be very, very happy to get that as a side dish with my curries back home. Really, really tasty. The rice, like I say, when you just look at it, just individual grains, no clumping there at all. Brown rice, it's always a little chewier than regular white rice, isn't it? Or basmati rice or anything like that. Just has that extra chew to it, but it has that nutty flavour too. Don't want any comments about me being nutty either. Thank you very much. Keep them to yourself. This is good. It kind of reminds me of, like, if you were to get all your favourite side dishes that you'd normally have with your chicken madras or lamb rogan josh or whatever, all your favourite sides, and put them onto a plate. This is what you'd end up with. It's really tasty. Really tasty. I'll try this little puri. This is like a puffed up little bread. It's kind of made like a flatbread and then fried, I believe. And that puffs up the air pocket in the middle. Again, tasty enough. Not the most exciting flavour to it, but it's like a carby item that's going to fill you up a little bit. Now, I've not featured an awful lot of vegetarian food or vegan food on the channel, simply because around where I live, there's not that much good stuff. There's one place actually I'm thinking of going to, which is supposed to be very good. But every time I have tried it, I've been impressed by it. And you know, you can eat a plate like this and you don't even notice the fact it's not got meat on it, because the flavours are there, you know? It's quality cookery of simple ingredients. And to keep it to a price of just $9.95 per person for all you can eat. Like I say, I'm not going to go mad on it, but if you want to come in, you can have 2, 3, 4, 5 plates, however much you want to eat. And I can see why people come here. It's an economical meal, but it's blooming tasty. I had a really interesting chat with one of the staff here, and he was explaining a bit more about some of the health benefits they see from this kind of food, and how, I mean, it's obvious, a lot of it really, but home cooked food is a lot healthier for you than processed food. I mean, that's just common sense, I guess. And he was telling me that as a younger man, he didn't really follow that kind of principle at all. We got to a fairly substantial weight, and then a few years ago he decided to cut out sugar entirely from his diet. Lost 25 kilos. So there's something in it. And what I will say as well, folks, you know me, I love my meat. You put a steak down in front of me, I'm as happy as Larry. But I'm not missing the meat in this at all. You do not have to be a vegetarian or a vegan to enjoy this kind of food. This is just good, flavoursome food. It fills your belly, it's inexpensive, and it's really tasty. You know what? If you're ever in this part of London and you're looking for something cheap to eat, you could do a lot worse, let me tell you. You could do a lot worse. Okay guys, come outside. What a lovely little feast that was at Indian Veg. I really, really enjoyed that, I gotta say. Now, I know some people are going to say, you know, the vegetarian diet isn't good for you, because I know there's people in in my comment section who are doing carnivore diets or, you know, not the Atkins diet because that's like 20, 30 years ago, but similar kind of things to that because, you know, that's what works for their bodies. I get that, but there's a lot of good stuff in veg, obviously. There's a lot of vitamins and antioxidants and all that kind of stuff. So it doesn't hurt every now and again to have a meal a bit like that, does it? Apparently they use very, very little oil in their cooking because oil isn't good for you for some reason, whatever it is. So, they try and minimise that. But yeah, I've got to say, I come out and I feel kind of energised by it. Maybe not by the Coke, but it was really, really tasty. Lovely, lovely flavours. And like I say, I could have gone back and had another plateful, another 2 platefuls if I wanted to. No problem at all. The great thing about this place too, they actually give food away to the homeless, which I think is a marvellous thing to be doing. London obviously has a big homeless problem, doesn't it? And they are helping, not solve it, but just support the people that are doing it. So when I paid £11.95 in total. That was £9.95 for the buffet, £2 for my Coke. But I gave them another tenner because, to contribute to that fund for feeding the homeless. I think it's great when people are doing stuff like that. Got to try and look after people, haven't we? So, we've got to come up with a score for this. I mean, is it the best Indian food I've ever had? No. But it's good. It is good. I think the cookery on it was really, really nice. You know, there was no mushy, overdone vegetables in there and nothing that was kind of raw. The salady elements were nice. Not the most extensive buffet you've ever seen, but then, you know, there's only so much you can do with the veggies, I guess. I'm going to score that a good 4 out of 5, I think. 4 out of 5, I think, is fair. It's cheap, it's cheerful, you can take your own booze in. Like I say, until you go, take a bottle of wine or a couple of beers, and you're going to eat for 20 quid. I mean, that's just incredible in this day and age, isn't it? Does it get Greeno's green light? Well, let's spin back round again. What colour is the outside of the shop? It's green. That's the same colour as the light I'm giving this place. It's a definite green light. Get in there, support these guys. They're doing a lot of good work and they'll feed you well. Can't go wrong. Right then, guys, so if you've enjoyed this video of me showcasing the Indian Veg restaurant here in Islington, nearest station I think is Angel to here, then why not click a thumbs up on there for me? Does help the channel, and if you're new around here, have a little look around and see if there's anything else in the vault you enjoy. If you do, click that subscribe button, ding your bell for notifications, and YouTube will let you know when I upload the new videos. Right, where to next? Well, I think I've done a few in London recently, so it's probably time to head off to Pastors New, isn't it? There's going to be a trip up north soon as well, so look out for that. I'll catch you then. Bye for now.